All right, we're live, I think.
I'm ready to come.
Can everybody see us? Okay, it should be working.
Okay, are we ready?
Okay, yes. Huzzah!
Here we go.
Are you interested in understanding GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, or Mounjaro? Then join us on the Plus Side, Cracking the Obesity Code, the groundbreaking podcast helping people change their lives one episode at a time. The Plus Sides podcast is a disruptor. We're breaking down barriers, smashing stereotypes, and sharing inspiring stories that'll leave you feeling informed and empowered. Join us every week to learn from doctors who are specialists around GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, or Mounjaro. They'll provide you with science and facts to validate these incredible stories. But that's not all. We'll also bring you the voices of the GLP-1 Mounjaro TikTok community, real people who face the challenges of obesity-related diseases and disorders and discovered the incredible plus sides of GLP-1 medications. Our episodes are filled with heartwarming stories, laughter, and moments of triumph. You'll connect with our amazing community members who are reclaiming their health and experiencing their fullest lives. Are you ready to embark on a journey of discovery and empowerment? Tune in to the Plus Sides, Cracking the Obesity Code, and together we'll change the narrative around obesity and end the stigma. Subscribe now on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform and join our incredible community. Let's celebrate the plus sides of life together, because every story deserves to be heard. Every life deserves to shine, and everyone deserves access to expert knowledge and medication. The Plus Sides Podcast. You're not alone. It's not your fault.
I'm Dave Knapp, man on the Mounjaro. That's why I'm here. Big news for Semaglutide.
I'm the most elusive of all the doses.
So I have a couple theories, and I'm interested to hear yours. The first, who likes my Karnak hat?
Jokes about tirzepatide.
You are on the pen.
What's up, Dave?
Oh my God. I'm having like a massive coronary. Why is everything going wrong? We have the row ads. I didn't put them in. I have all the old ads. I like totally cocked up. Oops. None of the new ads are in. It's all the old ones. Shit. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Bear the Extraordinaire is fixing it for you at this moment, madam.
Excellent. Thank you, Bear the Extraordinaire. I love
You're
it.
welcome.
I was trying to do it myself, and I was like, this is not going well. Hey, guess what? We distraction. Look, it says get fucking loud. Carolina, look, we're all sporting except Kat.
I'm wearing my TikTok shop muumuu.
Oh, it's a cute that moo. How are you doing with the muumuu sales? I feel like you should just rock that on a live and be like,
I bought them all before I started selling, so I don't know. I'm going to go through my closet and just do stuff.
Yeah. Well, you have to. What do you mean? What?
Go through all my closet, all of my muumuus that I bought on TikTok.
No, you bought them on TikTok. Yeah, that works. I was like, why would that do? I don't. It's because you got them on TikTok. I didn't realize that TikTok was a big muumuu place.
Oh, you can if there's something for you you're interested in, you can find it
on TikTok Shop or muumuu.
Muumuus.
Muumuu.
Thank you for being a friend.
It's cute. She does this every summer. It's her thing.
My
her
thing.
Mrs. Roper.
My Mrs. Roper summer.
Yeah. Anyway, I digress. Hey guys, if you don't know about Carolina's awesome TikTok shop where she's got stuff about PCOS, insulin resistance, obesity, all the things, type 2 diabetes, all the things. Super cute shirts. She is a member of our community. Let's support her. Okay. So
I have the cottage cheese whore one.
The cottage cheese whore.
Yeah. I just had a bowl of cottage cheese with apple slices.
Yeah. She said, "Did you forget about me?" Tay says, Sabrina. Were you supposed to forget?
I can't see the chat. I don't know how to see the chat.
Oh, that's right. That's weird. Okay, then you can't wait on your phone. You can only see it on your phone, right? Okay. All right. Anyway, hey guys, we're about to fix our ads, but so you may see them a couple times. The good news is they're shorter. But regardless,
you know what, Tay? She said cottage cheese is nasty.
It is nasty. I don't get it. I mean, every now and then
I'm Miss Jackson,
or pineapple, but that's about it. It's kind of like
after
a few bites.
I puree it and use it in my lasagna.
Now that's good because I've had your lasagna. Although I'm not gonna lie, Kat, I was super constipated.
What
after that lasagna?
Kat, what's today?
Greens.
What is today?
Hump day.
Hump day. Yes, it is. We are GLP-1 evangelists. If you're new here, which many
hung
people
out with
may
me this
be.
afternoon, and I hump dayed all day. Hump day.
Hump day.
Thanks,
Welcome.
Tay.
This is the Plus Sides Podcast. We're a GLP-1 educational podcast. We on our regular episodes, we interview doctors about obesity, and we give a voice to the community, which has been largely discriminated against and marginalized and treated like dog crap. And so we don't do that here. And we just did find out today that actually it was yesterday that we are number 18 in Apple Medical Podcast in the United States. Number 18. It's been a little over a year. We are getting loud. We are changing things. It's going to take some time because it's like turning an old wooden ship. But we are turning.
Never.
We are doing it, and it is happening slowly, but it's happening because old wooden ship and all the things. But that's what we're doing. And so what we do is every other Wednesday we come together and we invite on a community guest, and we also have tea time with JT where she tells us all about the GLP-1 tea. And we always bring resources to the community. So we have a few telehealths that we work closely with that help sponsor our podcast, which drives our movement. We need this, okay? And they're wonderful. And I'm picky as shit. So just know that, okay? So, and these are my favorites. These three are my favorites. So, John, you let me know when those ads are ready. But until then, I think we should just move forward and invite on our guest. Hang tight.
Heck yeah.
Teresa!
Just to cut in, the new Fridays ad is ready. I've got to convert at least one of the row ads to a format that'll work on here.
Okay.
And I'm working on it.
Excellent. Oh, and then while you guys want to know this, we have a new sponsor. It's Row. And we will play their ad and you will see all the things. And it's fantastic. Yay. Very scrappy, crazy live, isn't it indeed? So what we like to do is welcome in our guest. And I want to make sure I give Teresa the opportunity to take the space, unfiltered, uncut, because we are not the media. So we don't do that. So hi.
Oh, hi. How are y'all? Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I have to say, my children, who happen to all be home, my grown-ass adult children are all home right now, and they literally stuck their head in and said, remember, Mom, you're Techno Lucifer. You're going to have technical difficulties.
Anyways,
That was not encouraging.
Worth waiting for.
So
that's okay.
So that is sorry. So I apologize for that, y'all. So yeah. So yeah, Techno Lucifer. I need a T-shirt, I think.
We've got support. Well, usually when you talk, like we won't pin comments because we like to give you the space. But
Oh, my friends are here. Yeah. Well, I appreciate that so much. Anyway, I appreciate that. Oh, you guys, I love y'all so much. Woo. Okay, so super duper nervous.
It's okay. I'm going to make you feel comfortable. This is my thing.
I know you are. You're the best.
You are literally with people that understand like your trauma and the things that you have gone better than anyone you've ever met in your whole life.
Yeah.
Everyone here is like this, right? Everyone here gets it, like just like that. So if you're talking about a place to land that's safe, this is it. This is it.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, am I going? Is it time? It's time. Okay, so yes, I'm Teresa. I've been a member of this community for 15 months now. Before I say anything, I want to thank all of you, Kim, Kat, JT, Sabrina, because you guys don't know what y'all meant to. Oh shit, here she goes right off the bat. This podcast has been everything. The medication, life-changing, but this podcast and the education that you guys bring to so many people, come on, you are just regular women who needed an outlet to help people, and you have found it, and I love you each for it. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm literally giving myself goosebumps, which is ridiculous. But I love y'all. So thank you.
It's our
I
honor,
love you.
for sure.
I love you. Okay, I am Teresa. I am 56 years young. I have an amazing husband of 34 years, and I have 3 grown-ass adult children. My daughter is 30. My boys are twin boys. They'll be 27 in November, and I'm still trying to lose my baby weight. I was not an obese child or teenager. I was an athlete growing up. I played soccer competitively for many, many years. I ran track. I always had food noise. I didn't know what it was as a child, but sneaking food, constantly wanting to eat, trading everything on my plate in elementary school for the dessert that I liked, trading all the main dishes for the dessert that I liked, was something that I did. Like, it was weird. I thought nobody else is doing this, but I want everything. I'll give you anything on my plate for that cranberry crunch dessert. So I was about 10 when I did that. And I remember that, and I'm thinking how strange it was, but not really knowing. I never was more embarrassed than a trip to Germany when I was 13. We'd met a family playing soccer, and we hosted their daughter, and then they hosted me. So I got on a plane by myself and flew to Germany. And they made a delicious meal one night with meatballs. It was the first night there. And after everybody went to bed, I snuck downstairs and got in the refrigerator and ate more meatballs. And I don't know why I thought that nobody would notice, but the next morning at breakfast, Jurgen said, "We seem to have a pincher in our midst." And I was like, oh, shit, it's 13. Again, I didn't struggle with the weight part of it until much later in life. Got married in 1990, gained a little happy weight, nothing crazy. Had my first child in 1994, and that's when the struggle began. I couldn't lose the baby weight. Did my first medical diet, a Medifast, liquid, horrible. Needed to lose 50 pounds, lost 30, could never hit a goal weight with any diet I ever did. And it just snowballed from there. I started developing cysts that were painful in my ovaries. My doctor kept saying, I think something's going on here. Something's going on here. We wanted to have another baby, couldn't get pregnant. And the year of trying, I gained 60 pounds in that year. And when I came back to see my doctor, he said, "I think you have PCOS." I had no idea what it was. I didn't know. I had always been pretty fit and active and ate pretty well and did all the things. And I could still never, ever lose the weight. And the fact that I was just gaining and gaining and gaining and gaining. I developed osteoarthritis in my knees. I was told early on, like in my early 30s, that I would need a knee replacement with the osteoarthritis. In 1997, I got pregnant with my boys, and I was already 200 pounds when I got pregnant with them. And, it was a scary time. They were premature. My water broke at 29 weeks, and I had these 2 little preemie babies. They were pretty sick in the NICU for 2 months, and depression, and the weight just kept going up and up and up. I had a cyst that was getting bigger that the doctor was concerned about on my ovary. And he put me back on birth control to try to shrink it. And that was in 2004. And right in 2005, beginning of 2005, one of the twins had the flu, and I thought I had the flu, but I woke up and I couldn't breathe. And my husband rushed me to the emergency room, and didn't have the flu or pneumonia. I had blood clots in both of my lungs. So I had a bilateral pulmonary embolus in 2005. The doctor told me that the doctor said a third of my patients with pulmonary embolism die right instantly. The next third die within 5 days. He told me this on day 4 of my hospital stay. And and he said, and the bottom third live. And I lived. And I was like, okay, I've got to get serious. I really need to lose this weight. This is so unhealthy. I've been given a second lease on life. I still had this giant cyst that was growing because I had to come off the birth control pills. And finally, later, after I found out I had a clotting disorder, the doctor said, okay, we're safe now. We need to get this cyst removed, and I ended up having to have an oophorectomy. So the ovary, they took the whole ovary. There were precancerous cells in there, but they removed it, and that was good. I realize I'm going way, way back, but I feel like it's all part of my story. Scary. And so the weight kept coming up and up and up. And no matter what I did, I was doing boot camp 5 days a week. I was doing the dreaded WW for the 9 billionth time. And the guilt and the shame that was coming with every failed attempt. You know, my husband has never lived in a larger body. And while he's always been really supportive, he never understood why he could just set his mind to it and just do it. And I just don't understand why you can't stop eating. I don't, I'm like, I don't know. I didn't know. I had no idea I didn't want to be living in a larger body. I hurt all the time. I was really cranky, really unhappy, really miserable. I know everybody's been that way. That's something that I've heard over and over again, how unhappy we've been, not knowing why we couldn't do it. Why on earth? Other stuff in my childhood, my mother was 18 when I was born and 20 by the time she had my sister, and she did the best she could, but definitely being told I wasn't good enough. And so that kind of permeated my life, I guess I'm not good enough to do this. I can't get it done. Anyway, fast forward to my birth of my first grandbaby was coming up, and I was 278 pounds and just about at the end of my rope, really. I thought I was just going to have to be in this giant body and in pain for the rest of my life. And it was just my lot in life. And I had a new PCP, and I went to see her. And she was great. And I was talking to her about how I'm just miserable, just absolutely miserable. And she said, well, what have you done? And I, rolled out the scroll of 9 billion diets and boot camps and exercises and everything that was so unhealthy that I've learned so unhealthy for my body for so long. And she said, I have something I think will help you. It's called Wegovy. I'm like, I had just gotten on TikTok, like literally 5 days before that. I hadn't been on TikTok because I was working and I retired, and I thought, well, now I can play around on this thing that everyone talks about. And about the week before my appointment, I started kind of hearing rumblings. I wasn't sure. I was like, what's this magic pill? What am I hearing? And she brought it up, and she said, well, let me tell you about Wegovy. And she explained where it came from. She's great. She said some insurances don't cover it. And I was like, well, I've got great insurance. Blue Cross Blue Shield. So we all know that's not great. But and of course there's no coverage for that for obesity in my plan. And I didn't really realize, I didn't know. I know now about PAs, but I didn't then. Thanks to y'all, I know now. And the pharmacy called, she went ahead and sent it through, and the pharmacy called and said, your prescription's ready. The insurance isn't covering it. That'll be $1,200. It's like, wait. In that time period while I was waiting, I was so excited because I started seeing all these videos and thinking, oh my God, this may really work. This may be it. And I was so defeated. I was so defeated when I was like, oh, I can't tell my husband we're retired now and I'm going to spend $1,200 a month to get skinny, because in the beginning of my journey, I'll be honest, that's what I thought this was. I thought this was another fin. This was another, just a diet medicine. That's what I thought, if I'm being completely transparent. And I just thought, it's just another thing I'm going to try. And I didn't do all my homework until after that call from the pharmacy. And that's when I did a deep dive. That's when I found Kim. That's when I found telehealth companies and compounding pharmacies. And then I had another spreadsheet for that. I had all the ones lined up, and this one, this, and this one, this, and all the while, my husband being really skeptical about it. Really skeptical. And it's like, well, if you want to do it, but that's a lot of money. And I'm like, yeah, but it's less than what that we were going to be charged at the pharmacy. And he said, well, it's kind of scary. I don't want you to be on it for long, again, not knowing. I'm 15 months in. We all know better now. And everyone in my house knows better. But I joined a telehealth, immediately qualified. My A1C, had gotten the lab work with my PCP. And of course, my A1C was 5.7. My cholesterol was high, my triglycerides, everything, all the medicals, all the signs, and the glucose, everything. So I knew I was headed in a really bad medical, I was in crisis. My body was in crisis. And that sounds dramatic, but that's what it felt like. It's what it felt like. I signed up with a telehealth. I got my medication. It sat in my fridge. I love hearing those stories of the newbies now. I'm like, oh, it's sitting in my fridge. I'm so scared. I'm like, I get it. I understand. I too was scared. I waited about 2 weeks, and then I got the nerve and I did it. And I started on Sema, which I switched telehealths. I'm with Fridays now. I started with them in November, and I wish they'd been around to help me at the beginning, because while the telehealth that I used was lovely, I didn't feel like I got what I needed. And I just titrated up, y'all, every 4 weeks. No, my 10 minutes on the Zoom, to my 10-minute appointment. Nobody really was talking to me about, hey, you're still losing. And I'm a data girl. So I'm like, I look back at my numbers, like, God, I was still losing. Why did I just keep going up and up? And I tore my rotator cuff. I fell in that time frame in March. Actually, I fell, and I reached out to Kim because I was getting ready for surgery in October. And I'm like, I'm terrified. I mean, first of all, she didn't know me from Adam. I never expected her to respond. And when I tell you, I screamed, and Al came in the room, and I said, oh my God, she responded. This amazing human being, this woman, she's got this podcast, and she responded to me. And she said, to talk to my doctor, but not to be afraid. And it's okay. And lots of people have, had to stop the medication and go back on. So thank you for that. I just was so impressed that you truly were advocating and wanting to help people. So from April to December, I lost a total of 50 pounds. I didn't lose anything for 6 weeks, and it was slow and steady. It was beautiful. I didn't have any stalls until December. And I like to say that while I was stalled, and I can look back on it now and give myself grace and know that I can maintain like a boss, because for 5 months I did all the things, working with the dietitian. I move like a crazy person. I don't ever slow down, and I do all the things. And when my weight loss literally stalled for 5 months, was working with the amazing Dr. Jensen. And he said, I think it may be time, just because I was on the highest dose of Sema for like 6 months. He said, I think it may be time to switch you over to tirzepatide. So I did. I took my first shot, and I started at 7.5, because then again, the recommendation was 10. I was terrified that I was not going to be able to lose the weight that I needed to lose at the time during that stall. And he said, no, he said, if you want to start at 7.5. So I did. And Jay was like, you needed to start at 10 because Jay knows all the things. And he was right because I didn't lose anything else. I still was in a stall until I hit 10. And now I'm down another 10 pounds. But what I noticed right away that gave me so much hope in the beginning was the food noise for me went away almost instantaneously. I talked to my girlfriend who's also taking the medication, and I think she's in there, the chat somewhere, but she's like, are you sure? I'm like, it's gone. And I didn't even know that not everyone felt that way. Not everyone had just that constant noise in their head about food. And I couldn't believe it. I thought, oh, do I just want this to go away? Because everyone talks about it going away, and it was gone. And I had relief from joint pain almost instantaneously. It was about right after my second shot. And I was like, I had naysayers say, oh, that's because you're losing weight. I'm like, it's been a week. I've lost 4 pounds. You can't tell me that was all inflammation. You can't tell me that that's what makes me be able to get up and move without pain. So, life-changing medication. I do not want to be without it. That is my joke. Cold dead hands. I saw Tay say, taking it to the grave. I will absolutely take it to the grave. You will not take this away from me. If I have to sell a kidney, I will, because the freedom for me over food noise is everything. It is everything. And I do say, while I'm down 60 pounds with 40 to go, thanks to my DEXA scan, I know exactly what I need to do with my body. And I've added strength training. I get up every morning and walk. I've made a wonderful group of friends, and we walk every morning. We have since April. I think it's been April. Somebody may correct me. But they are love and light and energy. And I get so much from this community that I just thank you for bringing all those people into my life, because while my husband is great, you guys all know nobody, unless you've lived in this larger body and had the disease of obesity, nobody will get you like this community gets you. Whether we agree on everything, no, but nobody will get you. So my morning crew, and I'm just going to say it, I have to give them a shout out, because y'all, they've heard me cry, they've heard me laugh, they're amazing. So let Coco, Rhonda, Cindy, Dave, P, Tiff, Jesse, Lulu, Jay, Nebby. I love all of y'all so much, and I wanted to give you a shout out because I'm that goofy mother weedus over here. So, but anyway, thank you. That I realized I was like talking fast, and
no, it's awesome.
My story is like just ridiculously normal. I think my story is normal, but I just love y'all.
That's the point. That's what I'm saying though, is like, and I wouldn't say that it's, normal in terms of like all the I call them the normies, the people who don't have obesity, right? But the point is that it sounds like everybody, and for people to feel a connection, for people to be able to start healing, being able to see someone that looks like them and sounds like them, right? That matters. That's representation, right? That's really important. So the fact that you do sound like everybody, there's going to be somebody tonight or somebody that watches this replay, and they're going to go, that sounds like me. I'm going to go to my doctor.
Yeah, because go to the doctor. Do not wait 1 second. This isn't a weight loss medication. It is not a weight loss medication. That's the side effect, and it's brilliant and it's awesome and we're happy about it. But that is not what this medication is about. It is so much more. And this is where Jay and I do disagree, because if you told me today, Teresa, you've lost 60 pounds, your clothes fit better, you feel better, you can get up and walk 6 miles a day and then hike 7 miles with your husband, and you can lift weights and you can swim and you can crawl around the floor with your grandbaby with no pain, no pain. If you told me today you will not lose another pound, but you will have no joint pain and no food noise, and my A1C, by the way, is down to 4.9. If you told me that, I would say, okay, I still want to be on it, even if I don't lose another pound, because it has totally changed for me. And I do not feel alone anymore. I don't feel alone anymore. I know that I'm not alone, and I know that this is a disease, and I thank you for that, Kim. I really do, and all of y'all. So,
okay. It's. I'm trying to be better about accepting when people say things like that, because Sabrina says I'm weird.
I'm not. It's not smoke. I'm not blowing it up your butt. It's
no.
100%.
Weird thrill too.
Life changing. So, life changing. Anyway, that's my story.
Well,
that's it.
Very powerful story. Thank you so much for sharing it. I hope that it is. Most people will say like they feel a weight lifted, like when they will be able to share it and get it off. And like, I will tell you, I will get a message. I get one every episode. Oh, we lost her. Oh, she'll be right back.
Bean footage is ready. Everything's uploaded.
Bean footage. Okay, great. We're gonna wait for her to come back. There she is. We got you.
Techno Lucifer.
We got you, Techno Lucifer.
I can't believe
every episode, no matter what it is, I get a message or there's a comment that says, sounds like me, I'm gonna go to my doctor. And so I hope, and when that happens, I will be sending you a message to let you know so that you see. Okay. It matters. Everybody's voice matters. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, y'all. While we talk about GLP-1T.
Sure, I'll keep quiet and I won't push any buttons.
What I say to JTS, everyone talks some trash.
I gotta hear the tea.
You gotta hear the tea. Yeah, then we can all giggle about it. First, we gotta roll our bean footage because we gotta do it right. So, Kat, I hear the bean footage has now been loaded. Could you roll it?
I'm just gonna start from top to down.
I like it. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
One Fridays, one IV, one row.
Okay, here we go.
They're short. And
20 seconds a week to lose 20% of your weight in a year with diet and exercise. That's the power of GLP-1s through Ro. Ro helps find the medication that's right for you, based on cost, availability, and your weight loss goals. Losing weight with GLP-1s is possible through Ro.
Yeah.
Those are our sponsors. A word from our sponsors.
Strange.
Nick is, that's right. Nick's in the ad. I love it. That guy, Nick. I love it.
Love him. I love him.
So let's talk some trash.
Are we doing some tea time, right?
Tea time.
Hey. Oh gosh.
You gotta play your JT.
Look, I was like, difficulty. Yeah. Well, it said mic muted, and then I was like,
yeah, there's a little bit of a delay. I don't know what the dealey is. Yeah.
It's raining really hard in the Atlanta metro.
Oh,
it is raining extremely hard.
It's not raining here yet, but
it's raining cats and dogs.
Oh,
cats, dogs, strays, everything. Yeah. So, hey everyone, and Teresa, thank you so much for your story. And I'm so glad that you talked about the gynecological aspect of it, because like you, they put me on birth control too for cysts on my ovaries.
Yeah.
And
where'd Sabrina go?
I think I know where. Okay, something is
Sabrina.
in the machine.
I didn't touch anything. it.
So wasn't you, but thank you. So I think that we should wait for Sabrina. And ever since the software outage last week, things have been wonky.
Yes.
They have.
She's back.
Things have been wonky. Yeah.
Haven't they been wonky?
Yeah. I'm gonna blame all the fact that the ads weren't right. It's the outage. You know.
Listen,
me.
Look,
it wasn't because I have 8 million jobs and I didn't get to it.
The outage messed with my soul. You can ask him. The outage messed with my soul.
He came upstairs right before I got the message from JT, and then her video started going viral about the outage. And he was like, something is weird and off and wrong. And I don't know what is happening. And I was like, what happened? He's like, nothing. And then when I found out, I went, hey, like literally the world is down.
Yeah.
He's like, that's it. It messed with his soul.
My soul is damaged.
Did it mess with like your whole soul? Because I so wanted to text you all, but it was 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I was sitting up with my phone like, oh.
And I knew my whole soul. Like I was laid up in the bed.
Yeah. And it really started last Thursday afternoon. It started last Thursday. It affected Amsterdam Airport. It affected London Heathrow. So we were starting to get reports that something was going on. So flights were delayed. And it's not uncommon for international flights to be delayed, but it was a little bit more of a delay. I received a message at about 10:30 at night.
Oh, wow.
10:30 at night, Thursday night, saying that irregular operations. At 10:30 at night, I knew something was wrong then. 4 hours later, I get a text message at 2:11. I'll never forget it. 2:11 p.m. ABC News was the first news outlet to really pick it up. And they said, you all, something's really wrong. And at that point, the computer systems not only affected Europe, it started affecting the United States. And as we know, Delta has been, still has not fully recovered. Thus why I got home this morning from trying to get home yesterday. But I'm so glad to be here really quickly. And with this outage, that's why I always recommend do not place medication in checked luggage. Do not place medication in checked luggage. Because if you would have had your medications in your checked luggage instead of in your carry-on, carrying it on with you, then your luggage is God knows where. So you always keep your medication with you. So unfortunately, I think that was a hard lesson for a lot of people.
We need travel tip time with JT too. We should add that.
Oh, wow.
Tomorrow. We need that one too. Like we need all the tips.
So I mean, like,
that's a good idea.
Travel tip time, but you all know that I've been saying that. And like Sabrina was like, please do not place your medication in your checked luggage.
Are you surprised as much as I am that there were not savings card issues when this happened? I thought for sure, oh hell, everybody's gonna be trying to get their medicine using their card.
I just want to point out a bit of conspiracy in regards to this outage. And I bet JT probably agrees with me on this.
Okay.
Let's think about everything that's been going on politically and in this outage. That's all I got to say. Everything politically that's going on, then this outage to dispersion us so they can come back in with something else.
All right, then.
It's been, and it's funny that Bear says that, because if you follow astrology, they're saying that this is not like surprising, like all of this stuff. And so while I've been stuck on planes and trains and automobiles, I've just been like, what? And so I kind of went down the rabbit hole, and allegedly, like, what's happening in the world, like the past 3 months, like people have predicted like this was going to happen. People like predicted, and it's on YouTube, and they were like, this is going to happen. And it's actually kind of amazing. But I think it's going to be even more wonky stuff that's going to happen between now and the end of the year. I can just feel it in my little auntie bones. I can just feel it, But please do not place medication in checked luggage. And the Olympics are about to start. So are we not crazy excited about that? Eli Lilly is, and they're not saying Eli Lilly. They're calling themselves Lily.
Yes.
Lily. They are a huge.
Why not? That's what we've been calling for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
We've been calling him Lily for 2 years. Like, we'll say Lily this and Lily that.
Yeah,
right.
You take all our shit, Lily. You take all our
Lily
messaging.
does is just
Where's our
come
medicine?
on TikTok, and shout out to Reverie Boutique. Relax, Karen. They're just GLP-1 meds. I mean, honestly, I love her. And whenever I go to the doctor, I always wear something from Reverie Boutique because I think we can always be walking advocates, right? So
that's what I should have been wearing when the doctor treated me like garbage.
When you told me about
like a
that,
real
I was so
a-hole.
hot that day. I was
driving,
and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, are you serious? And I felt like it happened to me. I mean, I was so hot. And for me to get mad is a big deal. But I was like 98 degrees.
A lot of
hot.
people were mad because I think most of the people in the comments had been there.
Yeah.
Right. That was the biggest takeaway, right? Is they were like, it's happened to me. It's happened to me.
Yeah.
It's happened to me.
It's all trauma that we've all experienced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That common trauma, that common thread. And like, I saw somebody like literally while we were like having troubleshooting, like comment on that video and was like, I don't know why you're getting upset. Like obesity is a thing and he should be telling you that. He's a doctor. Like, why do people get upset with doctors? And I was like, because I just lost 105 pounds since I've seen
Sit
that
on
doctor.
it, friend.
I've lost 105 pounds, and that
That's
doctor
right.
told me that I needed to be under 200. Everyone needs to be under 200. That is not sound science. It is not the science. He's not even close. And then compared my weight to his wife's weight. It's not okay.
We just say he's like, oh, my wife is 130 pounds. Like, how tall is your wife, sir?
Why are you bringing your wife up?
That's him when I said, well, I'm tall.
That part.
He goes, that doesn't matter. And I was like, the fuck it doesn't. Who are you?
But why is he even bringing his wife up? That like, what's your wife got to do with my damn health?
The entire thing was bizarre.
Because it's a standard.
It was just really.
I'm reading like a
weird.
standard of
It was
beauty or
just
something.
We should bring
Time
it
for a new doctor.
Yeah, because
he's fired.
I recommend one.
Kim had just posted it, and because I was driving and I was being a responsible driver.
Sure.
I did not see the video, but when she told me about it, like she was still like shaking, and I'm like, okay, so my gut just said, call you. What's going on? And when she told me, I said,
she kept going, the hell, the hell, like that. What the hell? Every time I would say something like that. I did. Which of course they laughed and made it better. So
I mean, like
the hell. Yeah.
Look, the hell,
like that. Yeah.
I mean, the hell. Like honestly, I could not believe it. I'm like, you've got to be stinking kidding me. This, I mean, just the audacity. But audacity is on wholesale.
I am so not surprised by it though.
You know, like, the doctor was fine. He was talking about your weight, and I was like, "No, moron, go back and watch the other clip. That's not what happened." You know, like
this goes back to what Bourbon RX told you guys on episode 2. Just a plug for everybody who hasn't watched it to go back and watch it. He tells y'all it's that when they're going through that medical training, they go through all them years pointless. They come out not knowing more than a tit on a bull hog. They come out and they just tell them, hey, it's obesity. Obesity causes diabetes. They got to lose weight. Lose weight, you don't have diabetes. And that's all they're told.
You got to be under 200 pounds.
They just run off at the mouth.
But here's my whole thing there.
Episode, I'm just plugging episode 2 again.
And
I know
on IG, if you're on right now, it's no longer an excuse. Doctors can no longer. It has been. I know a lot of people didn't get the memo because 10 years ago they were like, obesity is a disease. Actually, we knew 20 years ago. Other organizations have been saying it for a long time that it's a chronic disease. It deserves treatment, right? There is no excuse when 40% of America struggles with obesity. When you are an OB, right? And you deal with people with PCOS and infertility and having fucking babies, and you checking the lady parts, that you don't understand insulin resistance PCOS and that you don't understand how these medications treat it. We are beyond the point where anybody can talk like that anymore as a doctor and go, no, I didn't get trained. Bullshit. Read an article. Bullshit. We are there. There's no more excuses. So no.
None.
My wife is 135 pounds.
Yes,
it goes back and forth.
Yeah.
We'll go sit and spin on it.
That part for me of like, well, my wife, and I'm like, well, what the hell does your wife have to do with?
You know what it is?
This?
Because I think men have this like little standard of beauty that slips out every time when
Yeah. And then I made a joke in the video. I was like, well, I guess I got to find a doctor, which is too bad because he was really hot or something like that. And then people were like, you had me until that part. I'm like, I was making a joke, an uncomfortable moment.
Oh my God.
Look,
I had a pompous asshole for a doctor, but yeah, he was fired after two appointments. He was a pompous asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just
unbelievable.
It was just the audacity.
I really
it was the audacity.
I kind of expect that from like, I don't know, like an old Gramps. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if there's somebody like 75 years old and I ain't doing that, but like if he's my doctor and he tells me to eat less, move more, I'm gonna be like I don't know if you got the memo, doc. Like, I probably would have jumped right out. I'd be like, but I was so taken aback by it that I couldn't even advocate for myself. I went right back to the Kim I was before I learned how to do all those things because of how bad it was.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say my anesthesiologist did the same thing to me right before he put me under for my rotator cuff repair. My anesthesiologist said to me, because I said he came in to do the check, and he said, "Okay, I see you're on Semaglutide. That's what all the movie stars are taking. My wife took that to lose 20 pounds. You need to really be careful with that stuff." And I just looked at him and I said, "Are you?" I said, "Yeah." My husband squeezed my hand because I was about to go off. I'm like, "Oh, this medication has saved my life. I'm not going to go off of it." But and then I wrote a really nasty review because no, you don't tell people. He was putting me under for. You're supposed to trust these people. He was putting me under anesthesia.
Exactly. Like you're in the super vulnerable position. Sir. Like, I get it that it's no big thing for them to be looking up a bunch of hoo-ha's all day, but mine is on your table and I am nude and I do not want to discuss the best practices of weight management with you.
No. Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry.
I get it, Teresa. I'd be like, "Listen, sir, you anesthese and I'll worry about my endocrines. Do
like I like that.
Yeah. Because most people get off it. No, they don't.
No. But that's why in a way I'm glad that Lily is like one of the sponsors of the Olympics. So remember a couple months ago,
I saw their ad. I saw the Lily ad on the Simone Biles documentary. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So remember we were trying to understand why Lily was like had Simone Biles and her mom in an ad. Yeah. And it ran on TikTok. And we were trying to understand, like, what do you mean? And Simone Biles' mom, I believe, deals with diabetes, but Simone Biles doesn't. So at the time, and I remember I posted about it and it was like, what does this mean? Well, now it all makes sense. So Lily is now, they're not calling themselves Eli Lilly. They're saying they're just Lily. And underneath is a medicine company. So Lily, a medicine company.
They stole that shit.
And they're freaking brilliant.
Who says it? We do.
They're freaking brilliant because now they're even more on the world stage. Because whenever it's time for the Olympics, I'm just going to let you know now, I record the events because just in case I can't watch them, I've got like the big screen, my phone. I love the Olympics. I absolutely love them. So the trials, like when the Olympic trials were going on, I was like just all in it. So just know that I'll be talking about the Olympics because I just think they're utterly amazing. So Lily is there front and forward. And of course they're backing the like #1 gymnast of probably of all time, Simone Biles. Mm-hmm. Her mom, freaking brilliant. Absolutely a brilliant move. It was a brilliant move. So tirzepatide being the #1 selling drug of all time, as of right now, before the other the GLP-1 meds come into the pipeline, which we know through, Man on the Mounjaro, through Carrie, and I'll try to sprinkle in a little bit, but I think it's great to see the evolution of the drug class. But here's the thing. When the Olympics start and Carrie, and I found the article in Forbes magazine, and when we were talking about prying it from our cold dying hands, right? This article is so interesting. And the title of it, and it was breaking news, was GLP-1s are growing in popularity for weight loss, but losing steam among people with diabetes. Studies suggest. Yeah.
I thought we were, anyway.
Well, no. It's not bad. It really isn't bad.
No, I'm saying, it just made me think, well, I thought we were stealing it from the diabetics.
Right.
Yeah. Look, listen. Okay. So let me just show you. So it said the use of GLP-1 medications like Semaglutide for weight loss has increased twofold over the past decade, but declined in use among those with type 2 diabetes, according to a new study. So the researchers warn the resulting and ongoing drug shortage may limit the access people with diabetes have to the drug. So that's what I kind of disagreed with. It's not people using the medications for their FDA approved usage. And even if it was off label, that right there is just off label, right? But this is in Forbes magazine. This is in Forbes. So the first bullet point was researchers from Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, Cedars-Sinai in California, examined 1 million first-time GLP-1 prescriptions in the United States between the years of 2011 and 2023. So just last year, and separated patients by those who took GLP-1s for type 2 diabetes and those who didn't have diabetes, but took them for obesity or obesity-related health conditions like high blood pressure, heart disease. The amount of new patients prescribed GLP-1s for diabetes decreased by almost 10% between 2011 and 2013, while those who were prescribed the drug for obesity or other obesity-related conditions more than doubled during the same time period, particularly since 2020, according to the study. Then it says Novo, with Wegovy and Rybelsus and Ozempic was the most prescribed GLP-1 in 2023, making up over 88% of new prescriptions was Novo Nordisk. 88%. So when I read that, I said, insurance. Remember, about 2 times a year, insurance acts a little crazy. Mm-hmm. Well, they act crazier than normal, right? And they start changing formularies and they start doing all this other stuff, right? So with that information, Novo Nordisk makes up 88% of all new GLP-1 prescriptions. Remember, we were trying to figure out why Ozempic and Wegovy were much less than Mounjaro, and Zepbound is new to the market, but there it is. They've got 88% of the market. So they've got so much power with pricing and all of that. Yeah. But here's the other thing. It says that the researchers warned the medication's growing popularity among those with obesity could be exacerbating a nationwide drug shortage and also raises concern about the need to ensure that patients with diabetes still have access to these treatments. Hold on. So it's like, but wait a minute. So then when you read further down in the article, they said that pretty much it was the majority of the new prescriptions were for Caucasian women. They even broke it down by that much. And so I think the study, which was kind of alarming because it was in Forbes magazine, the fact that this is in Forbes magazine, and Forbes deals with money. They don't really deal with health. They're dealing with money. But they're like, okay, so it's mainly, according to the study, they're saying it's mainly Caucasian women that are taking these drugs for obesity or obesity related diseases. Now,
yeah, I think that checks.
Like right now,
like the South Park episode, it's for rich people. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
people with insurance, like that's where it comes down to. If you're
access,
insurance,
access.
Look, access. So what
access and resources.
So what they're saying may be correct, but I think it kind of put kind of a shadowy light on the medication and for those that need it, no matter who you are. You know what I'm saying? I think it kind of unfairly categorized. That's how I read it. And I'm a woman of color, and I felt it was like,
because you've talked a lot about like how diabetes, like type 2 diabetes specifically, really does plague the Black community, right? And so it makes me wonder, like, we're talking about the obesity versions versus the type 2 diabetic versions, when like it's fact, right?
It is fact. And the fact that communities of color, especially like when I went for my family's, like to celebrate our matriarch now, he's 85. When I went, and I just started talking to my family members, and I highly recommend you do that. I know that they probably get on our nerves, but you might want to talk to them, because I learned something. Over half of them have type 2 diabetes.
Yeah.
We just started talking. I'm like, wow, you're on what? Well, I'm on Jardiance. Oh, well, and so in my case, it's environmental. Even though I was eating clean, I suffered from fibroids, and I was given birth control pills to shrink them. I was having contractions, literally driving. I didn't know what was happening. Now, fast forward, but talking to my family, like 80% of us have type 2 diabetes.
Wow.
Whoa. Like, whoa. Probably if I were younger, I would not have understood the full weight of that. But I think that this study also touches on access for communities of color that that probably have obesity and type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance, and it's not saying that other communities don't, but it's just like you said, it is fact. It's like many just don't have the access. But this study is also saying that they find that it's mostly Caucasian women. And I think what your OBGYN, what he said was very pivotal, because it's like, it seems like men, and especially white men, hold women, especially white women, to a standard of beauty that is skinny.
Yeah, clearly. Because
that is skinny.
He was very specific. Like, he was
sitting over here like this.
It just blew my mind. He was like, no, women have small frames. Therefore, you should never be over 200 pounds. You should never have food in front of your name.
That part. But remember that we had always said a lot of it is cultural. I have always said a lot of this is cultural. I mean, that especially white women feel the pressure to be skinny. I've always said it. and I'll die on that hill. And it's not saying that women of color don't. I said, but it's a different kind of pressure with Caucasian women, because the fact that they'll do that, many, and especially on Facebook, and I'm convinced Facebook is not a real place. I am thoroughly convinced. But the fact that on Facebook, some of what we're seeing is so scary. Yes. It is scary. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. And they're like, and many people, especially women, especially Caucasian women, I found something that'll get me skinny. I found something that'll take the pressure off of me to feel
this
standard of beauty.
Why we see people who may want to lose 10 or 20 pounds on Semaglutide.
Yeah. Look, and that is becoming a very more common question now. But then I think about stories like Cherie, where she just needed to lose 20 pounds, but then it exacerbated. So it's kind of like, do you treat the 20 pounds? Do you treat the root cause because it's 20 pounds now, but will it be 100 pounds later?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and that goes back to the doctor telling us about insulin resistance, right?
Right. Yeah.
And the whole idea of preventative medicine is just really not something that we do here.
No.
Like in this country, for sure.
No. And I just wanted to bring it to you all. When I read that, I was like, okay, the fact that this is in Forbes, one, I was like, because when I'm working, when I'm not out there slinging, Biscoff cookies and, snacks, I'm, usually
I like that, Teresa. That's cute.
That part. But I thought that was just very interesting. And I said, I know we have talked about it, but that article really put it to the forefront. And you're asking, well, how are people getting it? Well, many times they're getting it through telehealth. Many times they're getting it through compound pharmacies, but you still have to have a prescription for it. So it's not like you can just go to a compound pharmacy and get it. You have to have a script.
That there are people, though, that are getting it from peptide companies without care of the clinician at all.
And you see, this is how come on September 24th at 10 a.m., the Plus Size crew needs to be in Washington, D.C. showing
let's ask
them.
The audience, would there be numbers? Would they show?
We would need a lot of numbers. Just us over there would be kind of sad. And I know
we would need a lot of people and a lot of diversity. Let's show Novo Nordisk and Forbes that this community is larger than just old plain Caucasian women trying to lose 10 pounds so that they look good in their skinny bikini.
Man,
let's show them who we are, people.
John,
all of us.
As soon as Janine said in that study, first I thought, it's definitely, access and resources. But
Bear and Dave take Washington. That's what Dave says.
Yes.
Bear and Dave.
Yes. Bear and Dave take Washington. Yes.
Bear, look,
I'm there for it, Dave.
Okay, Bear and Dave taking Washington kind of scares me. But it scares me in a good way, though. But it scares me in a good way because this past week, the PBMs got roasted. And it was actually a beautiful sight. I thought it was beautiful. But, and
Dave, I just want to tell you, we both look good.
I'm just saying, we should put it out to the community and say, hey, what do you think? Can you all be here on Tuesday? Is it Tuesday the 24th?
Just as many
I think it would be absolutely fabulous. And I don't know. And this is sad because I'm from Washington, D.C.
You're going to get arrested, Tay. Sorry, I read in the comments. Tay says she's going to get arrested in D.C.
She would too. She's wild.
We do not
Y'all
have
don't know.
time
Tay's
to
wild.
Deal with the Capitol Police and
we don't need that
for you. We can't do that. We have
no Maryland PD either, ma'am.
Listen, it's not even in the budget to go. So
look.
Plus, Tay, if you get thrown, I'm going to get thrown in jail because I'm not going to let them take you. I mean, it's just very complicated.
Look, thank you. But But what they could
Delta
do
doesn't give a shit. They don't even have obesity medicine on their plans. So
look,
like no obesity.
I'm sitting here thinking about the cheapest way to do things. Yeah, but
it's Delta. God, look, God bless them. I mean, it's just God
let's ask
bless
Blue
them.
Cross Blue Shield.
Bless their soul.
That was like one
Bless
of the
their
most.
souls.
That was one of the most proud moments I've ever had when I saw screenshots of JT literally fucking up the HR department for taking the medicine off of the formulary. I mean, she was like, all the advocate language you can think of, like discrimination and bias and a disease. Like, I mean, she was just, and it was all, I mean, she just went on and on. She was like, calm me. She was all hot. I was like,
look, it got so bad that the head of global benefits got one. It was directly replied to me.
Yeah.
So proud of you.
I was just like, yeah.
I have family.
I can roll to DC.
So
I mean, listen.
me too. Don't worry about me. I got accommodation.
I can roll to DC, and I think Lily, not Eli Lily, but Lily would be so kind to give us one of these little puppies. And this is on really good stock too. So I got this little voucher for my endocrinologist. So you know,
spicy JT Carolina says.
Look, so you know that I love good packaging and I love good paper stock. I do. Like, you know, is it weighty? Is it good? And this is good. So our endo, Adrian, I absolutely love her. And she's my sorority sister too. But other than that, she said, oh, because my mom is a Mounjaro girly now. She's an MJ girly. She is an MJ girly as of this week.
2.5?
2.5. And I have a video of her taking her box out of her bag. And she's smiling ear to ear. And she's like a little kid. And she said, and my mom said, after being on Ribelsis, after being on Ozempic, she said, I'm going to be all right now. And I literally almost started to cry.
Oh,
it's important.
It's the hope for me.
She literally said yesterday, I'm going to be all right now. And I said, yeah, you are.
It's really good.
And she said, you know, you all are doing a great work with that podcast. And, you know, sometimes she would be here and she would listen to the interviews. So like and I think she saw my journey. She saw all of our journeys. And my mom's head is always on swivel, even though she's almost 80. Her head is always on swivel.
That's where you get it from.
Yeah, right. She's like, and she wasn't excited like that about Ozempic. And I'm not downing Ozempic, but she literally was like a kid in a candy store.
Genetically, she knows her daughter responded very well to Mounjaro, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure and it is the newest one. It is the one everybody's excited about. And when the next one comes out, everybody will be excited about that. And we'll be like, remember the days back in the day when back in 2024 when we were on Mounjaro and we thought Mounjaro journey. Hashtag.
There's a hashtag journey. But I think that tirzepatide will always be the granddaddy, even with new ones. I think that it's such a groundbreaking medication, no matter what. So
you guys. What if, okay, you finish your thoughts, the ADHD, I'm going to.
No.
On the table. No, I'm thinking about DC. Keep going, JC.
Oh, DC.
We'll come back to DC.
Okay, so wouldn't it be nice if Lily gave all of the people that came to like the hearings on September 24th, one of these nice little vouchers. So,
so really nice,
vouchers. So we got this voucher.
Is it free 1 month? Is that what it says?
It's a free 1 month supply of Mounjaro tirzepatide injection, all for good for 1 pack of 4 Mounjaro pens. We were able to get my mom's Mounjaro
free.
And
But our insurance had to cover something.
We didn't have to wait. They had it. Go figure.
The doctor's office had it?
Okay, so the doctor's office gives the voucher. So our endocrinologist is like, oh, wait a minute. Let me go and see if I have a voucher for you all. She and I look at each other like, what? Now, my mom has better insurance than I do. Like, my mom has the Cadillac Rolls Royce of insurance. And so we were like, okay. So Adrian sends over the script for Mounjaro. Not even 20 minutes later.
Wow.
We're working on it. Okay. And I'm thinking, yeah, Mom, we'll probably have to wait a week or something. They had that baby in the fridge, in the bag, ready to go. Yes, ready to go. So here is this nice little.
We're losing you, JT. You're super fuzzy.
It's the storm.
How about me now?
Nah, it's the weather. We're losing you.
Oh, crap.
We can hear you okay. We just can't see you very good.
Dang it. Freaking weather. All right. So here is this voucher that is provided by Eli Lilly.
Yeah.
And it's redeemable for a free 1 month supply of Mounjaro.
So you just gave it to the pharmacy? And then
we didn't have to give it to the pharmacy.
What?
We had it in hand. Check this out. The pharmacy goes, oh, here you go. We're like, well, we've got this voucher.
And they're like, we don't care.
Look, oh, okay.
I really think that if your insurance covers it, the pharmacy does not care. They just want to get paid. Like, you know what I mean? That's all. That's been my experience with all of these meds. Like, and I've literally taken them all, right? All of them, as long as my insurance paid, nobody cared, right? Like,
they said make some copies. Yeah, that'd be great.
Listen, you all can have it because this baby has the RX bin number, the group number, the identification number, the expiration date, and the PCN.
Wow. So no more $25, but you get 1 month for free.
All right. And I just want to say this one thing.
There you go.
Because I got the feeling of the SADS when I saw it, but I understand. When Rosie said, I'll be your spokesperson for free if you bring back the card.
Yeah, for everybody.
And they went to Simone Biles' mom, and I just was like, damn it.
I mean,
felt like,
can I do some marketing with you guys really quick?
But it's marketing. That's what I'm saying. I understand it, but
it's not just that, right? It's the fact that we know that diabetes plagues the Black community.
Right.
They want representation for what they think is
in the Black community.
And on the biggest platform, the Olympics. It's like the Super Bowl.
Look,
so,
I mean, from a marketing perspective, which we know that I think Lilly are brilliant marketers. Yeah, they are. Brilliant go-to-market strategists. That's what it is. And it's about who they know that they can sell it to, who it's on the most formularies for, right? That's what it comes down to. It's not, and they don't want anybody that honestly is obese. They want to market to someone who doesn't look obese, who has type 2 diabetes. They want to make a very, very clear statement about that. And that's how they did it.
Which is how come we show up on the 24th. We changed the narrative.
I was just saying,
don't
what
use
about Cena, Dr. Weiss?
Yeah.
Right. Like Dr. Albert.
Yeah.
They're making
we need everybody. Dr. Tumor.
Making a very clear.
All of our doctors.
Yeah, but I think Lilly is doing it two-pronged though, because think of the commercials, the TV commercials where Lilly has a Caucasian white woman that has obesity sitting on the side of a pool with a bathing suit on.
But is that for Zepbound?
No, probably. I don't know. It's just Lilly.
For Mounjaro?
It is just a Lilly.
It's just a Lilly commercial.
It is just Lilly.
But still, you know what? Because the spoiled. If you guys are old enough, used to watch Fat Albert Russell, who would be a little pout about it all the time, or just the bratty middle child here. I'm very in tune to injustice. I was like, what the beep that got to do with me? Because I don't have a script for neither one of them. So y'all can just go on with your little $25 scripts that your little insurance pays for. And what the beep that got to do with me?
What the
Did you ever watch Fat Albert?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, listen. Hey. It is classic, but I truly believe that.
I mean, I'm not saying. Look, then we've made it very clear from that study, the white women are the target audience too, right?
Yeah.
But if you
they
really
want
want to
everybody.
send a message that you get Zepbound for this and Mounjaro for this is how you do it. You pick someone that's not obese in the Black community.
Well, the woman in the Lilly commercial, she was
demographics are a big deal in this space.
Wasn't she swimming?
She was. Yeah, and
she was active. She was active.
She was sitting on the side of the pool.
All the things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Simone, you're saying, right?
No.
The commercial.
She was heavy.
This was just the general Lilly commercial, and it was actually brilliant because it had no.
I want my check, bitches.
No doubt. Kim, you predicted all of this.
You did. It has no words. The commercial is like black and white.
Yeah.
It's very powerful. It's very, very powerful. But remember we said last year when that narrative of people not getting their meds and, oh, you just wanted to be skinny. Eli Lilly wants to move as far away from that narrative as possible.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want anything to do with it. They're like, we're washing our hands of it. Thus, why they did the open letter at the Oscars, where these are not weight loss medications. This is for people with obesity. So they're moving very strategically.
I get it. Yeah. Because you know what, that Ozempic, like everybody in Hollywood, the first thing they say is that Ozempic? Are you on Ozempic?
Correct.
The Kardashians are on Ozempic. Like blah blah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm really trying very hard.
That's how they know. Like when we did our interviews for the documentary in Atlanta, right? You know, Sabrina and I were Sabrina mostly because I was a chicken, but we were asking questions, and then my son was like, I want to help. And so we started asking people, but I said to Sabrina or somebody, I was like, ask them what they think about people taking Ozempic. Don't lead them in any other direction. That's what worked. Nobody knew what the hell we were talking about when we were saying other stuff.
Right? Nobody like Semaglutide.
They know Ozempic. Ozempic is the one with the brand and the jingle, and it's been around the longest in terms of commercial. Because I mean, I will say, like, even Victoza Saxenda have been around a long time, but I didn't see commercials for it. You know what I mean? I didn't see that. And that being said, I do ignore commercials.
You don't even watch commercials, honey.
I know, it's right. I like the plague. I can't. I hate commercials.
Well, when you watch if you did Netflix, Kim, if you go and watch the Simone Biles documentary, it's the first thing you'll see before it starts. Is the Lilly.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
good for Simone.
Right? You know what? We love her, but that's like all the tea that I have. But I thought that was so
good tea.
That was so impactful because the Olympics are starting. Yeah. Lilly is like front and forward on the stage. Like
it's very smart.
You're saying Ozempic anymore.
No,
you're saying Mounjaro. They want you saying Zepbound.
And there looks like they definitely are trying to change that narrative, right? You have it's not a weight loss drug. We're on the biggest stage, and we are not the Hollywood get skinny drug.
Yes,
they've been prepping. They have been pumping that out for a while.
Right.
That still gives me all of us.
If you think about it,
eventually,
right. But like, if you think about it, though, in terms of Mounjaro, right? We all, for anybody that's been around since OG days, Mounjaro, when it first came out, that savings card did not require you for the first like 6 months.
It did not.
Did not require you to have diabetes.
No, it did not.
They very much were like, oh shit. Like, and this was in our documentary, right? Oh, it went viral. We didn't know. Bullshit. You didn't know. Bullshit. They
Kim,
knew
it's Mounjaro
what they were doing.
It's Mounjaro,
That's
Kim.
how I started growing in the community. I was like, that's trash. I'm sorry, Lily. I think you're brilliant marketers, but that's why. because I know you do exactly. You know how many people have obesity. Like they're like, oh, it was because it went viral. People are talking. No. You made a coupon for a $1,200 medication to make it $25 for anyone. You knew exactly. You don't sign off on. People got to sign off on that.
Do you know how many people have to sign off on that?
Levels
and levels and levels.
Right.
Yeah.
And when it was the OG savings card, I came right at the second OG savings card. The first OG savings card, you only had to check 2 boxes.
Yeah.
That you were 18 and that you were a resident of the United States, right?
Yeah, I think
and
so.
then the second one was where they started adding another box, and they just kept changing it and kept changing it and kept changing it. But I think that this article, when I read it also, it made me think of the insurance. Okay, so you know how insurance is like really cracking down on Mounjaro. Like they're not cracking down on Ozempic.
Yeah.
They're cracking down on Mounjaro. They're cracking down on the Lilly product, right? Yeah. So after reading this, I'm like, So now it's starting to make more sense. But see, the thing is, so when you're on Zepbound, and Zepbound is a two-edged sword, and
I took Zepbound this week because I'm waiting for a Mounjaro 12.5.
Yeah, but
it's the same.
But you know,
but it's the same.
Right. But at least you're able to get it.
Yeah.
Look,
but it's because I had Zepbound.
But at least you're able to get it.
At least.
So look, so again, here we come to access.
Yep.
Right? Okay. Yeah. Lilly. Okay. So if you put a pin in that, Lilly creates Zepbound, right? It gets approved for obesity management, right? Okay, we're excited, we're whatever. There were people in the community that called it. They called it, they said, y'all, this really may not be the best thing. And they might have been right, because now you've got people that are on Zepbound, and if you don't make good progress on it, they're kicking your butt off of
100%
That's wild.
They are kicking your butt off of it. Now people want Mounjaro because Mounjaro is a maintenance medication.
Absolutely.
However,
I do. I'm not apologizing.
Right, but I mean, but Lilly has categorized this.
That's what they did. Yeah.
Lilly has categorized this, and now when you look at it, you're like, okay, but it's the same medication, y'all, but it's different. So we know that most companies don't have weight. They have weight loss exclusion, weight management exclusions. Yep. So you can't get Zepbound, or if you do get Zepbound, it's $550. So now people are like, they're like, well, what about maintenance on Zepbound? There is no such thing as maintenance on Zepbound. You know why?
You lose it and you're off. All right, go forth and
that part.
Now my sister, her insurance will pay for her to be on Zepbound 15 for like a year. That's me.
That's so unfair. It's still just
that is great.
That's not enough.
But it comes
down.
It's
15. She has to get to 15.
Yeah. And look, and my friend who's the doctor here in Atlanta, so he said that when you go, okay, so let's just say, i.e., you want to go up to 15, right? Okay, right? You want to go up to 15. Let's just say 15 is too strong for you, right?
Yeah.
Which for a lot of people it is, and it'll lay your ass out.
Yeah. Lay my ass out.
Lay your ass out. Be like this. Okay, so you want to go back to 12.5, right? Look, I'm a soldier. So, Christy in the community who lost 210 pounds on Mounjaro, like she's a super responder. She lost 210. She was the first one that talked about it. She tried to go down in dosage. Her insurance company said, you need a new PA.
Yeah.
But here is the kicker. So let's just say, hey, the side effects were a little too tough. PA gets approved. You go down to 12.5. the insurance companies are trying to now make it that you can't go back up to 15 because that's because you failed the dose.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Make it make sense.
Make that make sense to me. But Christy kind of was the first one to sound the alarm about that. And we were like, what? She was like, yeah, they don't want you to go down. Then you've got prescribers, insurance companies, and that insurance companies only want you to go up almost every month, or they'll only let you stay on a dosage for 2 months. And then you have to go up.
They're going to keep compounds in business if they.
I don't understand, like, why. Like, it's not like the 15 costs more than the 12.5, right?
No,
like,
correct.
Why?
There's got to be some sort of reason, though, right?
I don't know. I don't know.
So they can limit what you have access to. If you go up and then you can't use it for whatever reason, you don't feel good, it's giving you the runs, whatever it is, as long as your prescriber is putting it in there as you can't take it because of a allergic a reaction to it, they're just going to say, oh, you can't use that dose. That dose hurts you. You're allergic to it. And then each time you do that, because as it's been talked about on this podcast before, a lot of people go up and down on doses because your body gets used to it. Well, now they have a way to say, oh, you're going down on dose. Your prescriber is saying it's because of X, Y, and Z. That means you can't take this anymore. You now have a bad reaction to this.
What kills me is I don't think they do that with any other medicine.
Well, no,
they don't.
They can't.
Like, they don't.
Like they can't do it if it's prescribed.
Because it is so scandalous. Great Prince song, by the way. But yes,
very good Prince song. But it's because this drug is being most people are using it off label now. So because it's being used off label, they have
are not anymore. They were,
but it's not. Most people are not taking it like for diabetes. A lot of people are not taking it for diabetes. Clearly, the thing that JT said is the study, they're taking it for weight loss.
Yeah.
So the way that they can treat it for weight loss is completely different than the way they can treat it for diabetes. If it stops lowering JT's A1C, they can't tell JT that she can't go back up to it if her doctor says, hey, you have to go back up to it to get your A1C back under control. Yeah. But if you're taking it for weight loss, all day they can tell you, no. It's the weight bias.
And that's just what I was going to say. Yeah. But even with people with diabetes, they're still got us under a microscope.
Yeah.
Take me, for instance. The highest I got to was...
look at Tay's comment.
Look, okay,
it's so not that bad.
Well, look. Okay, so we've got people that have the lip issue, but nobody talks about the lip issue. Nobody talks about the lip issue, but they will talk about this little baby right here, because I went to 12.5. My A1C got down to a 5.4, and I struggled to get it there. So 5.4. So we started titrating down in dosage, right? Okay. Because we're in the maintenance phase, you got to find what works, right? Which is still really tricky as all get out. Mm-hmm. My A1C goes up to a 5.8. Mm-hmm. I go down to 7.5. I'm now back in pre-diabetic range. I went from a 5.4 to a 5.8.
Yeah.
So now they're still giving people with type 2 diabetes issues. I think people think that, people with type 2 have it. And I think some type 2s were trying to make it seem like, we've got carte blanche. No, we don't. Look, and there right there's a lie from the pit of hell.
Yeah. That, and I feel like maybe in 2022, like in 2022 and maybe even 2023, I feel like that was pretty much true. And then it got out of control and they were like, now we're going to take it from everybody. Right.
There was a while there,
if you had it.
Period.
Like, that's all there was to it. But now you have to prove you have it. And even sometimes then it ain't enough. I was actually
that's right.
Probably not enough.
That's right.
Yeah. They're just throwing more and more barriers up constantly, trying to keep people off these meds for all the reasons.
It is the cost. And also Dr. Albert talked about GLP-1s and kidney function, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. My mom has kidney disease with type 2 diabetes, right? Mm-hmm. Plus she has the insulin resistance, belly. Now with us knowing what we know, right? So her BMI is now down to like a 26, almost 27.
Go ahead,
The
Mom.
doctor wants her to get to a 25, right? We went to her nephrologist today. Her kidney function has gone up by 10 points.
That's great. Since Rebelsis? Oh, that's great.
Hold on. Her kidney function went up?
Her kidney function went up. Her kidneys are functioning better. Right?
Yeah.
It had dropped to a 27, y'all.
Yeah.
It had dropped to a 27. She's now to like 36 or 37.
Yeah. My dad's been on Ozempic since I started on Ozempic. And his is too. Same.
Yeah.
He's diabetic.
I think I can agree with Jay on that.
And has kidney failure.
They're hoping for negative fit. So you completely, But my mom literally almost cried today. And I was so happy, but I had to advocate for her to get it. And we had to leave her primary care physician.
Mm-hmm.
Because he would not prescribe it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that just didn't make sense. And so now
I just think it's all the roadblocks and insurance. They just don't want to fuck with it. Like they just don't, doctors they don't care enough to mess with it. It's like hell for them. Whether it's right
for them.
And we have to think too, like this has got to be cutting into blood pressure medicine.
It is.
Medicine, right? Like this has got to be cutting into that market. It's got to be.
But I think that there's stacked therapies too, because we know many people that are on particular medication and that maybe take metformin too, or are still on insulin. My mom is now on insulin, but we're waiting to see what they'll take her off of.
Yeah.
And I believe it's going to be metformin, because now since she's doing the insulin, she's doing Teresa, which is Novo Nordisk. And then now she's doing Mounjaro, which I think is just going to be the ultimate duo. And I can't.
Great. I mean, everybody's body's different, right? But my dad is off insulin as well because he got on Ozempic. I'd love for him to get on. I'd love for him to get on Mounjaro, but ultimately, he's got Medicare, so it's not on there yet.
But I mean, it is going to be interesting to see. I think 2025. We knew this year, and I think Sina said it best. This year was going to be the crescendo of this drug class. 2024 was going to be the crescendo. I think 2025
next year too. I think I think this year and next year it'll be just cataclysmic. Like
it makes me nervous. It makes me a little
scared.
We
never know what's
I joke a lot about it, but it really makes me very scared.
I mean, I know. Well, we always joke about it.
Yeah, but that right there is all I have. And relax, Karen. They're just GLP-1 meds.
Let's get fucking loud.
I love
it. What did yours say? Just let's get loud.
Let's get loud. GLP access for all.
Yeah, she can't really. Well, no, we don't want little Bella walking around and say, "Let's get effing loud," right?
Mine actually says what Sabrina says, and I wore mine, I think Monday or yesterday, because I always try to wear something to the doctor, and I just think it kind of breaks the ice. And you're already in the waiting room and you're nervous because you don't know what the results are going to be. You don't know how this visit is going to go.
All right. 100%, Kaylin. Agreed.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's awful. Like the only reason, and my mom's been able to get it, but she had to do steps, and Dr. Albert had to prove things and all that stuff, and because she has Medicare, like that's the thing is, I really hope they get Mounjaro on Medicare soon, because I do think it's good for people to have options, because there's some people who just can't tolerate Ozempic. There are a lot of people.
It is very harsh, but beware. many doctors, and I know our endo had said this, and in a way, I think she kind of did it so it could establish step therapy also, but she started her on Ribelsis. Then she went to Ozempic. And I told our endo, I'm no doctor, but isn't the side effect profile for tirzepatide a little less harsh, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
For a lot of, most people,
same side effects,
the
but
majority of it is
for like most, right?
More mild, yeah.
Most, right? Okay.
I will tell you the exhaustion. That's a straight lie. I didn't have any exhaustion on any of the ones, but on this one, not my ass.
They said that their patients at our endocrinologist office, which is a pretty big practice in the Atlanta area, they said that more patients are having severe side effects on Mounjaro, Zepbound, than Ozempic, Wegovy.
Wow.
Feels barbaric. Oh God. Look, Dave. Oh God. Which insurance does she have? Well, I don't even think her insurance required step therapy. I think that they did that just in case. My mom is a retired teacher, so she has United Healthcare. And also there's a pharmacy group that's suing United Healthcare because of the change outlet. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they're suing their asses. Excuse me. They are suing them, and I'm here for it. Mm-hmm. And I said, and this is just the one of many lawsuits that are coming because change. What they're saying is that
change's gonna come. You had. I mean, JT.
I did kind of open the door, didn't I? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So a change really didn't have a succession plan in place. Yeah. Kind of like another company that I can't say that is part of this IT meltdown stuff, and they didn't have a little backup plan. Mm-hmm. They're suing them.
Wow.
They're suing them. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen because that's just a good business practice. Is you have a backup plan to the backup plan to the backup plan, right?
Absolutely. It's called business continuity. I used to market it.
You would think that they would all have that too. And there's
but that
one
might
big
cost money
one.
though. But that might cost money.
Right.
Oh yeah. They're all about saving that greenback, but they charge you like they spend every dollar of it. There's one that comes on everybody's computer that, as far as I'm concerned, is the world's worst organization next to the pharmacy system.
Oh, sure. Let's be careful.
I'll say it.
Let's don't go down that road.
It's just going to be very interesting to see how that lawsuit plays out. It's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out because in my little mind, do they have a case? Oh, I think they do.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I think it's really, and we had Dave on the show. So Dave's going to be on another episode coming soon, a year later. And we were talking about, I know, because you have to work, I know. But he's going to be on a show and he was talking about like the new legislation with the state of Illinois and basically like abolishing or not requiring or something. I think
correct.
Step therapy because practicing medicine.
Step
all
therapy,
is all of them giving
the state of Washington, the state of Oregon, New Jersey has already passed.
New Jersey did
legislation about it. I think that hopefully it will be a ripple effect.
Is that you? Somebody. That
wasn't me.
Sorry.
But
my light went out. I'm setting the mood.
Okay. But I think that it will be extremely interesting to see what happens because, and you've got the states that are not in the Bible Belt, that aren't in the South, and they have not adopted this yet. So it'll be very interesting to see where this wave goes.
Well, I'm wondering like how, like in terms of enforcement, is it like you have to have, for example, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan and say Michigan doesn't allow it anymore? Like, but a lot of people that have Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan don't live in Michigan. Do you understand? Like, I'm wondering like how that's enforceable. You know what I mean? I want to see how that'll play out. I would love some of our doctors to come in.
I think that next week, unfortunately, August 1, we know that there's going to be many changes, especially with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan.
Yeah.
August 1 is when insurance companies really act the fool. And yes, I say act the fool. Because they have already given the heads up about the changes. And I think the most extreme of the changes was Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan.
Yeah.
And so people, hopefully, I mean, we're still coming off of a shortage. Some people are still experiencing the shortage. I'm still experiencing it. CVS pretty much sent me a text message saying, don't call. We don't know when it's going to be in by. And so I was like, oh, okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah,
but
too.
Yeah, but people are trying to get the meds while they still have coverage because August 1, it changes. So even if you had an approved prior authorization for Zepbound or, for any really for Zep, they did not include Mounjaro because Mounjaro is a maintenance medication.
That's so wild.
For Zep, but like for Zep, for Wegovy, for, Saxenda, they're, requiring the enrollment in the, weight management program. You've got to check in with this person. And of course they say that like a month ago, but they want 3 months. So they're really just trying to get you out of having access. So I think August 1 will be extremely, critical in terms of trying to see what people are going to be posting, what they're going to be commenting on in terms of access. And I think we have always said on this podcast, it's always been about access. It's always been about access. And August 1, when people cannot get their meds anymore, that's next week.
Yeah.
That's next week. They won't be able to get it.
I mean, that's the thing is it's just going to get worse and worse in these restrictions. But you know what? That's why Compound's here. And,
Thank
unfortunately, though,
I think Compound's been here for a while.
Thank God.
Oh, I think so, too. I think that what we'll see, because like right now, in terms of the requirement, right, these pharmacies can make straight tirzepatide without compounding it with anything. But after, they can compound it.
It may take longer
to
make because instead of making it in the large batches, they'll have to make it individual. But they've been doing that for years, So I think it'll be very interesting. There are so many people that prefer the compound to the retail brand because they don't have as many harsh side effects.
Yeah. Well, I think because they mix it with Wegovy, that's the whole idea. So I think that'll happen, but still, we're still talking about people having to come up with, $400
or $500,
to $600 a month, and I don't even know like how boutique that's going to get with what's in it, right? I mean, it's still the average person can afford to pay an extra car payment a month for their medication.
How about that part,
right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and I think that's what we have to remember is it's great that Compound is there, but still it's really expensive.
It's very expensive.
I know, but semaglutide is significantly cheaper. I mean, semaglutide is typically significantly cheaper.
Yeah, but like for the most
barbaric,
part,
right?
I usually have to pay a membership fee because that's how doctors get paid to take care of you. Like you got to pay
the membership fee,
and so you got to pay that, and then you pay semaglutide. Say it's like $150 a month, right? Then you're still at $250 a month. I mean, like it's still for the average person, it's just really high. Especially like Lynn mentioned in this economy, the economy ain't getting any better. It's not. I don't see an improvement right now.
Right.
It's rough. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like I'm glad that there's the option. I'm glad that it's available, but I think what'll happen is there will be more and more people that will go and buy the peptides and spend a fraction and not know that there's any kind of batch testing or that things are safe or that it's actually done by a clinician to take care of you and they're going to be treating like it's weight loss drugs. And there are a lot of people, in our community that that do that. And and I think a lot of that is because probably they don't know, and that's what we try to do on the podcast, right? Is let them know. We're not trying to judge them. We're trying to give them better options and alternatives. But ultimately we just have to reach those people. And speaking of reaching those people, we need everybody to do a review, and we need it to happen. We need you guys to be in the comments. This movement is very powerful, but it is nothing if it's just us up here running our mouths. We need you to go into the comments. We need you to share it with other people. And we need you to do a review on Apple. We need you to do a review on Spotify. We need reviews, because what happens? That makes us more relevant, which makes us more valuable in terms of social media and all the things.
100%.
Raise up. And that's how we went from a podcast a year and a few months ago that was nothing to number 18 in medical podcasts on Apple Podcasts for the United States, because we keep doing what we're doing and making the content, and we keep the organic growth. But it's a movement. And I want everybody to understand, like, you're a part of it. You're a part of it, whether you can get your medicine, whether you're, trying to advocate for medicine for your family members, whatever it is. But everything that does or doesn't happen when it comes to this podcast is in your hands. Mm-hmm. It is a community-driven podcast, and we are a very fucking powerful community. Literally, the drug companies and the insurance companies come to us and our content to find ways to either thwart or help, right? We are very, very powerful. And I think people forget, and they think that if they're not creating content, then maybe that is moot. It's not. Your comments, your shares, your likes, we own the algorithm. We own this bitch. So let's make it our bitch. Go review us.
Okay? And it's not just this algorithm. We're like owning the meta algorithm too. And TikTok, I think, thought that, we don't want that over here, which I think that's changing a little bit. Well, now
we'll go next door.
Yeah. And now it's just like, I don't think that was really smart, but I think now they're allowing GLP-1 content a little bit more. Have you all kind of noticed that on TikTok? And I think, and when you
I'm suppressed again. It went good for a while.
Oh, and then yeah. Okay.
That's what Dave said. It's like, it's cyclical. Like, we'll be fine for like a week, and then it'll be like, it's
a very, give and take relationship. But I will say that drug companies and media do, and we've said it once, I'll say it again, and hopefully you're picking up what I'm putting down. Medical companies are scouring TikTok.
Oh yeah.
They're scouring TikTok. Mm-hmm. Check your emails. Check your emails. Check your spam folders.
I bet.
Check.
I can't even tell you how many like telehealths are like, what are you getting paid? Because we will make that better. And I'm like, no.
But,
go away.
But it isn't
just
that
you're even
telehealth.
Saying that. I'm like, stop.
It isn't just telehealth.
Oh, who is it now? Mm-hmm. Peptide companies?
Mm-hmm.
Who is
it? I have an interview.
You better spill this tea, because I see you trying to hold it back. Your name is JT, and you own the tea.
The tea.
Oh, you better spill it.
Look,
I'll just laugh because we everywhere.
Okay, I lean in.
So, I got an email. I have an interview with a major drug manufacturer that I cannot say the name.
Ooh.
On Monday.
Ooh.
They wanted to talk to me on Friday. I'm like, dude, I'm a flight attendant and I got to sling some snacks.
Yeah.
So, can we talk Monday? This particular company, and it's not just them, but it's many companies that we talk about a lot,
mm-hmm.
use a company where, you know how you see people at medical conferences, you see people on commercials. This is the company that they use.
Ooh.
So I got a phone call. That's why I'm like, check your emails, check your spam folder.
Yeah.
Because now, and I'm not bragging, but I'm just saying, because if you're a GLP-1 content creator, they're looking for us. They're looking for the voice. And just be authentic, share your story. I don't think any of us kind of had this on our bingo card. So I'm a little nervous, but I've got to talk to them for about an hour. Ooh. This said company has asked, will you be able to travel? Will you be able to go to medical conferences?
Wow.
Will you be able to like go overnight?
Yeah.
And I
best be reporting back to me in 2 weeks on that. Can't wait to hear it.
Yeah. So just check your emails. Make sure your email is in your bio because they want, and I have never pitched a company. I didn't know who this company was. I was like, hello? She was like, hi. I'm like, who are you? She was like, yeah. So we saw your content. It's a set, and it's a drug manufacturer that we talk about a lot.
Wow. Oh,
So I am a little nervous.
Sure. Girl, you got this. Girl, you got
I don't know what
for breakfast.
Yeah, you got this.
And I wasn't going to say anything. And I've been holding it for about a month. I haven't said one word. I haven't said a word.
Oh.
I know. But it's because I'm like, okay, so this might be real. Like when they first contacted me, I was like, oh, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't think,
oh, yeah.
Yeah. But then they circled back.
Yeah.
And now it's getting real deal Holyfield. And I'm like,
oh, can't wait to hear. All right, guys, you need to come back. You got to come back in 2 weeks when we have our next live so we can hear how it all went. What you can tell us.
Yeah. Because said company, yeah. Yeah.
Picking that up.
Look,
great to hear.
Because said company is looking, they want voices.
Yeah.
They want to hear real
What did
life.
said company say on said company's earnings call a few quarters ago? It's going to take the voices of what? The people.
So said company said that they want to hear real life experiences outside of clinical trials, outside of the participants. Also, I'm not sure, I think Kat may have some information on clinical trials because they are looking for people. But I think you have to be off of the meds for 90 days.
You have to go to the website.
They're looking for people. It's huge. It's huge, y'all. So you just make sure that you follow Kat and make sure that you know.
I haven't posted anything of it yet, but I will. I was living and stuff today, but yes.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But Lily is doing some trials.
Yeah, for retatrutide, right?
I called them today. And,
yeah.
Make the content. Follow Kat.
High cholesterol and heart disease. So I didn't, I don't qualify.
Sure.
I got the feeling that they're doing like what Wegovy was doing.
Yeah.
Testing it for cardiovascular benefits. Like they're on the ground already. It's not obesity. They're on the ground looking for.
And you make really good money with those clinical trials. You really can make a good amount of money.
Really? I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Look, we actually have a few people in the community that are actively in a retatrutide trial.
Oh, I would give anything to get into one of those trials.
She's on. I'm going through your business. So she commented. I know somebody out here is. Who's on it? Yeah. Who's on the trial?
But
Mimi in Australia.
Mimi is. Yeah.
Mimi is.
Mimi, and there's
I'm curious.
young lady.
How is it treating you?
Yeah.
She's
on it.
Yeah.
But the only thing is they really want to see like what she was saying, the side effects. So she was like messaging me and she was like, but they keep moving you up.
Mm-hmm.
Tell
them to get on peptide bite. Tell her to get on some peptide bite.
I did though, like when you're in a trial,
get on
you have to be
peptide bite.
really, really
Get on
specific.
some peptide bites. We probably have left some left over.
Can you get some peptide bite in Australia?
I know. Yeah.
Maybe?
So
yeah, we need to ask. Yeah.
So it will be interesting. I will have to report back to you all to see like what possibly I can talk about. But just know that each of us has such a unique story.
Yes.
And they want to hear about it. They want to hear it. And let's just keep doing the trending sounds. Let's just keep getting loud. Getting
fucking loud.
God. Oh God.
Definitely made from my mouth. My dad is like, stop saying all those bad words on the internet. It embarrasses me. Get off TikTok, Daddy.
Awesome.
Get off TikTok.
That story you said about your dad that told you, you know.
Yeah. That's what he told me to tell him. You just tell them. Yep.
Yeah. So thank you all.
Dad.
That right there is the tea, and it'll be a lot.
Go do a review. Make that part of your thing. You leave here and you go do the review on Apple. You go do the review on Spotify. You go do reviews anywhere you can, so we can go up and help more people. That's the goal.
This is the thing, guys. At the end of the day, if the podcast, if Kim, Kat, JT, if the guest, if the doctors, if anybody has helped you, if you've found benefit or anything, leave a review. It takes a minute. I mean, if you found benefit from this content, please leave a review.
Yes, please do. All right. Close the door, sweetheart. I'm on the internet.
Oh,
love you. Bye.
I didn't know it's still
on.
All
right, we'll wrap it up.
Leave a review.
All right, I love you guys.
I have another question before we roll out for everybody, because I don't know if you've noticed, but the butt stuff has been missing because I've been working out on lives. But would you prefer me to bake stuff with protein or do the butt stuff? So
butt stuff.
I think intertwine it.
Butt stuff.
We can do
People
both.
love the recipes.
They do love recipes, but Mounjaro took my butt.
Yeah. But if you had more protein, maybe it wouldn't. I'm just saying, like, I didn't know
it goes hand in hand, you know. Yeah.
Look,
we need both. We've learned from Dr. Ali too.
Start doing.
It's a balance.
Kat is in charge of the butt, and that equals more protein for muscles. So we'll just swap it in and out.
Okay.
That's why they call me the cottage cheese whore.
That's right. Butt stuff. Chris.
The cottage cheese whore.
All right, everybody. I gotta get going. My family's about to explode.
Thanks, guys. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Teresa, and
Deanne and Mo, I didn't forget you. Bye. Thank y'all.
We love you. Everybody have a
Love
great
y'all.
day.
Oh, do we need to roll some footage now, right?
Oh, crap. Roll the footage.
Of course.
20 seconds a week to lose 20% of your weight in a year with diet and exercise. That's the power of GLP-1s through Ro. Ro helps find the medication that's right for you, based on cost, availability, and your weight loss goals. Losing weight with GLP-1s is possible through Ro.
That's right. All the options in the land. Love you guys, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Hasta la pasta.
Hasta la pasta.